What I really like to do is talk about the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room can probably be best displayed by two numbers. Those two numbers are 90 and 10. Now, 90 represents the number of people who do not succeed in this space. 90% of the people who get in the mortgage industry, statistically, when you look at the number of licenses canceled, 90% of the people leave this space. That means only 10% of the people who get into the mortgage industry actually stay in the mortgage industry. There are a lot of reasons that people will point to when looking at what made that person leave the industry. Things such as training, things such as support, things such as technology. Maybe it's about the individual themselves and looking at maybe they're a little bit too shy. Maybe they didn't have enough sales experience. Maybe they didn't know their products well enough. Maybe the market had just made a big shift. Or maybe tragedy struck in their life. Or opportunity, let's face it. Maybe they won the lottery and decided to go sit on the beach drinking Mai Tais in Fiji. Who knows? But the one thing that I have to say is when we look at all of those, I think those are sub-reasons to some higher reasons that we really need to focus on. If we can address these reasons, I think it'll arm you with the ability to be able to overcome all the obstacles that are going to happen as we work with you. One of the things I can guarantee you is it's not going to be an easy road. You're going to run into clients that might be a little bit difficult. You're going to run into realtors, might be a little bit demanding. Lawyers might not want to close on time. Lenders that might not be getting back to you at the pace that you desire. All of these things are going to cause concerns and cause issues within your business. You might run into just the drive to work might start to wane as maybe the results don't move as fast as you're looking for. But what I can tell you is if you provide yourself with the tools to overcome those obstacles, the other side of that mountain is a wonderful spot to be. To crest that mountain, you're going to need help. And to do that, we're going to look both internally and externally and look at the tools that we can provide to help you succeed in the mortgage business. One of the things when we look at developing internally, we like to look at things such as where can we get the inspiration, the food we need to keep ourselves healthy. Just like we need great food to have a great health with our body, we need great food for our mind in order to develop our mind in the right way. One of the people that I like to look to in order to give me that inspiration is someone like Eric Thomas. Eric Thomas is a wonderful speaker, wonderful motivational speaker. He does a really great video on bringing one of his students into the water, and the mentor brings the student into the water. It's a wonderful video. I'm going to put the link in here so you can check that one out. Another thing that he's really famous for, and you probably recognize this, is a saying that he has, and it says, "Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do." And my understanding of that when I hear that is saying that, everybody wants to get to the top. Everybody wants to be the best. Everybody wants to have all the great things. But to get there, you need to do the work. You need to put in the hard effort. You need to put in the effort when nobody's looking. You need to show up. Right? I heard another person say, when you go to a course, you got two things that you got to do. Two things. You got to show up, and then you got to show up when you show up. You got to be there. You got to dial yourself in to listen. Because I'm going to tell you right now, some of the things I'm going to tell you during this course, you probably might have heard before. That's great. That means you're just hearing it from somebody again. It's reinforcing an existing belief. Might be something new. Maybe you just got to press that rewind button, just listen one more time and say, aha, now I get what you're saying. So everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. Well, to become a beast and become the person that we want to be, we've got to find out what drives us. And there's another great person that I'd love to recommend, and his name's Simon Sinek. He wrote a wonderful book called Start With Why. I was first introduced to the work of Simon Sinek by his TED Talk, Start With Why. This is where he first started to codify the way that we interface with the world and within ourselves. Well, now, why is this important to us in the mortgage space, you might be thinking? Well, have you ever heard of Samuel Pierpont Langley? Simon Sinek brings him up in his TED Talk because he's the person who, while the Wright brothers were discovering flight, Samuel failed at discovering flight. And they found that the conditions that we most think of, whereas Samuel Pierpont had all the money, all the fame, had all the resources, was a professor at Harvard, had access to all the smartest minds in the world, but didn't succeed. With the Wright brothers, they had the why, they had the dream, they had the desire, they had the purpose, they had the cause, they had the belief. These are the things when we think about things, when we think with our gut, when we think with our instincts. Go with your instinct. That's where your why exists. And this is extremely important because as we start to run into the challenges of this business, you need to have an understanding of what that why is that got you into the business, but more importantly, how that why is going to help you sustain through all the trials and tribulations that you're going to run into. Because if we rely on the what's, we rely on the how's, we're going to start looking at the excuses or the reasons why we didn't succeed, or the reasons why we stopped, the reasons why we didn't call that client and make that uncomfortable call, the reasons why we didn't reach out to that person that we just didn't feel we were ready to do so yet. Our why will get us past those things. I really want you to focus on taking a moment and writing that down. It might be the week it's going to take you to write it down. As we go through each element of this course, you're going to be thinking about it. You're going to revise it. But as we have the sheet that you're going to be writing it on. As we have that sheet, fill that out, scratch it out, fill it again, scratch it out, fill it again until you have it perfect. Put it up on your wall so you know. Your why might be your family. Your why might be you want to prove to yourself that you can do it. Your why might be the success that it's going to provide you. Your why is going to be something that is completely authentic to you. Whatever it is, it's yours. Own it. Then you can own the results that come with that. Because you're going to get past all of the issues and become a massive success. One of the other reasons why it's extremely important to write your why down is because as Simon says, people don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. Now, once you've defined your why, we can start thinking about the hows and the what's. Because let's face it, without the hows and the what's, we can't achieve our whys. In other words, we need those actions to hit the targets. Dreams can be sometimes just goals without actions. So let's start to think about what are some of the things we're going to do? How are we going to do those things within the mortgage space? When we look at the what's, we have to look at our daily plan. We have to say, how much time do we really have available in the mortgage business? And what are we going to be able to do within that time? Because let's face it, every moment that we're alive, we're making choices. Mel Robbins is another person that I really respect online. She's got an amazing Instagram, check her out there. And she says you are one decision away from a completely different life. That could be one bad decision, but even better, that could be one amazing decision. Or it could be one average decision that's consistently made. So to summarize, what we really need to be thinking about to be successful in the mortgage industry is that we have to know our whys. We have to know what is in us that's going to drive us to propel us to the levels that we would like to achieve. Further to that, it's also how we can express ourselves to the people around us. Remember, if we don't know what our whys are, they can't know either. And people buy from people not because of what they do, but because of why they do it. After we've done that and defined that, then we're going to start working on the hows, our business plan. We're going to look at our goals, our strategies. And that's going to then allow us to go down to our action plan, which is what are we going to do on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. Our whys, our hows, and our whats. So I'd like you to take the next little bit of time to take a look at what we've attached to be able to define some of those key why statements that are going to help you communicate to yourself and the people around you. See you on the next video.